Hi everybody, welcome to Lunchtime Live. I'll wait and see a comment to make sure somebody's here before I get started. Today we're going to be talking about bobcats. I don't know if any of you have seen the bobcats that live around here or not. Hi Jose. So today we're going to talk about bobcats. And I'm at the estuary today. However, most of our bobcats are down at Border Field. Hopefully the helicopters will quiet down. Okay, so hi Ann. Guess I'll get started. So today's Lunchtime Live is bobcats. Bobcats are native to North America. And they have a pretty wide range from southern Canada all the way to Oaxaca, Mexico. And they have a pretty wide distribution: woods, semi-desert, and urban edge marshland. So if you look out there, you can see this is the urban edge of a marshland. So, hi Chad. So, mostly, again, you're going to see them at Border Field. However, during COVID, it was pretty quiet around here, and they crossed the river, and there was one that was sighted pretty frequently up here. In fact, one of my co-workers saw it resting by the North McCoy Bridge underneath, I think it was a laurel sumac. And we all ran over there so we could see it, but it was already gone, because that's a pretty public area. Hi, Robert. So let me just show you what these guys look like. She or he has left the estuary and gone back, I think, across the river to Border Field, because we haven't seen it for a long time. So here is a bobcat. So they are very beautiful. They're kind of a tan, grayish brown, like many of your cats are. And they also have this spotting pattern. And that helps with camouflage. And their underbelly is white. They have a pink nose and yellow eyes with round pupils. But I think the most distinguishing feature is they have tufts of hair on their ears, and they have ruffs of hair on their cheeks. So tufts and ruffs, and of course the bobbed tail, hence the name bobcat. And they have, like your cat, very sharp senses, sharp hearing, sharp vision. They can see very well at night, and sharp smell. So they also are great climbers, and bobcats can even swim. So, I mean, your cat can probably swim too, but they've been known to not like water. Whereas bobcats will actually go catch a fish if they're hungry. They are crepuscular, and what that means is that they like to come out very early and sort of dusk. And the reason is they respond to the prey that they eat. So in other words, they want to come out when the prey that they want to eat is out. But rabbits are their favorite prey, and rabbits are also crepuscular. So their prey depends somewhat upon, the habitat that they're in and the season. Up in the more wooded areas, it's going to be different than here. So they eat rabbits, but they'll also eat insects. They might eat a nesting bird. They'll eat squirrels, mice, and again, maybe a fish. Less common, a skunk, because, they smell. And raccoons, that would be, you know, a lot of work because they're pretty feisty. And less often the small dogs and cats that people worry about too, because they're kind of the unknown, and you know, they don't like trespassing. They feel a lot safer out in their habitat. They are solitary, and oh, I have to back up and tell you something. In lean times, adult male bobcats have been known to eat their babies. That made me like them just a little bit less. So they are solitary. Again, like your cat, they're solitary. Hi, Dolores. And they will be seen, sometimes the dominant male will be seen with a female, but they are not monogamous, not even during breeding season. They will mate with others. And they do have territories. Apparently the males are more forgiving of the other cats trespassing in their territory than the females are. And that's probably because the female has babies and is, you know, trying to protect them. And they marked their territory a lot like dogs, you know, by going to the bathroom on everything in their territory, and also by scratching. So you'll see, if you were a tracker, you would see the scratches on the trees, and you know, and that would let you know that there's a bobcat, that you're in a bobcat territory. If you were a tracker, there are some funny videos about trackers talking about scat. So if you were out on the trails and you saw some scat, bobcats, you know, they're cats, they're picky eaters. And so they eat entrails, so they eat the guts of things. They don't eat the hair or and they don't eat vegetation and berries. So if you see scat and it has, you know, hair or bones or vegetation, that kind of thing, berries, you're gonna know that that's a coyote. It wouldn't be a bobcat. Bobcat scat is really dark and shiny because of eating entrails. So that's as far as I'm going with scat. So they breed in the winter all the way to spring, so maybe late winter into spring. And I have seen down at Border Field a parent with 2 babies, which was pretty cute. And a friend of mine going horseback riding recently took pictures of a bobcat down there. So they have dens, like a main den, and it might be you know, a hollow log or a brush pile or kind of a rock shelf. But they also have auxiliary shelters around their territory, and that's, you know, so that they can hide whenever they need to. Bobcats do have predators, coyotes, and down by the border there are golden eagles. That would be a predator. Usually they die because they have you know, caught some kind of parasite from their prey, or in some places maybe because the food is scarce and they starve. But not here. We have plenty of rabbits, and we also have squirrels and lots of things. Back in the day, people, I mean, I'm sure some places this still happens, but people, not here, people would hunt them for their beautiful fur. And when I was a kid, I grew up in California, Southern California, and you know, we had 45 acres of hills, and there were bobcats. And someone shot a bobcat, and he came down into our yard, and he was missing an eye and pretty old and scraggly. And he started just eating cat food with the cats, and we let him. And his name, I wouldn't recommend that, but we did live out in the boonies, and he looked like he needed help. we named him Mr. Wriggles. Don't ask me why. But Mr. Wriggles was eating cat food, not friendly, you know, not friendly, just he would eat his cat food and kind of go away. We had him about 5 years. Typically, I think in the wild they live 7 to 10 years. I think the oldest on record was something like 16 years. And then in captivity, they could live up to 32 years. So that's quite a difference between a 7-year lifespan and a 32-year lifespan. So I don't know how long Mr. Wriggles lived. I just remember he was there. Okay, let me show you some more pictures. Again, the roughs and tufts of the bobcat. Roughs, tufts, bobbed tail. And here's another picture. He's hissing. The females are smaller than the males. So the males, just for size, they can be 4 feet long, about 2 feet tall, and 40 pounds. But the females will be smaller, a little smaller than that. I don't know if you've been in the visitor center, but we have a taxidermied bobcat that's pretty huge. I don't know where it came from, but it's a chance to see a bobcat up close. All right, well, thanks everybody for joining us on Lunchtime Live, and I guess we'll see you next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about ospreys, and one of our volunteers, Dolores Montano, has given us some really nice pictures of osprey that we'll show. So, bye everybody. Hey, Jose lived near me growing up. I wondered if he'd ever seen our bobcat. Maybe. You can make comments and I'll read them later. Okay, bye everybody.